Day 262. Luke 1. 1. Because many were willing to write an account of those events, of which we are persuaded. 2. Like the things which they delivered to us who from the first were eyewitnesses and servants of the word. 3. He appeared also to me because I had approached all things carefully, that I would write everything in order to you, excellent Theophila. 4. That you may know the truth of the words of which you have been instructed by such. 5. In the days of Herodes, the king of Judea, there was a certain priest whose name was Zechariah from the ministry of the house of Abiah, and his wife was named Elizabeth, who was of the daughters of Aaron. 6. Both of them were righteous before Jehovah, and they were walking in all the commandments and in the judgments of Elo-heem Jehovah without reproach. 7. But they did not have a son, because Elizabeth was infertile, and both of them were advanced in their days. 8. And as he was exercising his priestly function in the order of his service before Jehovah. 9. In the tradition of the priesthood, it befell him to offer incense, and he entered the temple of the Elo-heem Jehovah. 10. And all the crowds of the people were praying outside at the time of incense. 11. And an angel of the Elo-heem Jehovah appeared to Zechariah, who stood at the right side of the altar of incense. 12. And Zechariah was troubled when he saw him, and dread fell upon him. 13. And the angel said to him, Do not be afraid, Zechariah, because your prayer has been heard, and your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you shall call his name Johannan. 14. You will have joy and gladness, and many will rejoice at his birth. 15. He will be great before Elo-heem Jehovah, and he will not drink wine or strong drink, and he will be filled with the spirit of holiness, while he is in the womb of his mother. 16. And he will turn many of the children of Israel to Elo-heem Jehovah, their Jehovah. 17. And he will go before him in the spirit and in the power of Elijah the prophet, to turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and those who do not have faith to the knowledge of the just one, and he will prepare a perfect people for Elo-heem Jehovah. 18. And Zechariah said to the angel, How shall I know this, for I am old and my wife is advanced in her days? 19. The angel answered, and he said to him, I am Gabriel, who am standing before Jehovah, and I am sent to speak with you and to give you these tidings. 20. Henceforth, you will be dumb, and you will not be able to speak until the day that these things will occur, because you did not believe my words, which will be fulfilled in their time. 21. But the people were standing and waiting for Zechariah, and they were wondering at his tarrying in the temple. 22. But when Zechariah came out, he was not able to speak with them, and they perceived that he had seen a vision in the temple and was making signs, gesturing to them, and he still remained mute. 23. And when the days of his service were fulfilled, he went to his house. 24. And it happened after those days, Elizabeth his wife conceived, and she had secluded herself for 5 months, and she said. 25. Elo-heem Jehovah has done these things for me in the days in which he regarded me, to take away my reproach among the children of men. 26. But in the 6th month, Gabriel the angel was sent from the presence of Jehovah to Galilee, to the city whose name was Nazareth. 27. To a virgin who was engaged to a man from the house of David, whose name was Joseph, and the name of the virgin was Miriam. 28. The angel entered her presence, and he said to her, Peace to you, full of grace, our Elo-heem is with you, you are blessed among women. 29. But when she saw him, she was alarmed at his word, and she was wondering, What is this greeting? 30. And the angel said to her, Do not fear, Miriam, for you have found favor with Jehovah. 31. For behold, you shall conceive, and you shall give birth to a son, and you shall call his name Yeshua. 32. This one will be great, and he will be called the Son of the Highest, and Elo-heem Jehovah will give to him the throne of David his father. 33. And he will reign over the house of Jacob eternally, and to his kingdom there will not be an end. 34. Miriam said to the angel, How will this be, for no man has known me? 35. The angel answered and said to her, The Spirit of holiness shall come, and the power of the Highest shall rest upon you. Therefore he who shall be begotten in you shall be holy, and he shall be called the Son of Jehovah. 36. And behold, Elizabeth your cousin also has conceived a son in her old age, and this is the 6th month for her, who is called barren. 37. Because nothing is difficult for Jehovah. 38. Miriam said, Behold, I am the handmaid of Elo-heem Jehovah, let it be done to me according to your word, and the angel departed from her. 39. But Miriam arose in those days, and she went instantly to the mountains to a city of Judea. 40. And she entered the house of Zechariah, and she invoked the peace of Elizabeth. 41. And it was when Elizabeth heard the greeting of Miriam, the baby in her womb leaped, and Elizabeth was filled with the spirit of holiness. 42. And she cried with a loud voice, and she said to Miriam, You are blessed among women, and blessed is the fruit that is in your womb. 43. From where is this to me, that the mother of my Elohim would come to me? 44. For behold, when the voice of your greeting fell on my ear, the baby in my womb leaped for great joy. 45. And blessed is she who believed that there would be a fulfillment to those things that were spoken with her from the presence of Elohim Jehovah. 46. And Miriam said, My soul exalts Elohim Jehovah. 47. And my spirit rejoices in Jehovah my Savior. 48. For he has regarded the lowliness of his maidservant, for behold, from this hour all generations will ascribe blessedness to me. 49. Because he who is mighty has done unto me great things, and holy is his name. 50. And his mercy for posterity and generations is upon those who revere him. 51. He has wrought victory with his arm, and he has scattered the proud with the opinion of their heart. 52. He has cast down the mighty from thrones, and has raised up the lowly. 53. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent away empty-handed. 54. He has helped Israel his servant, and he has remembered his mercy. 55. Just as he spoke with our patriarchs, with Abraham, and with his seed eternally. 56. But Miriam stayed with Elizabeth about 3 months, and she returned to her house. 57. But it came time for Elizabeth to give birth, and she bore a son. 58. And her neighbors heard, and the members of her family, that Jehovah had magnified his mercy to her, and they rejoiced with her. 59. And it was the 8th day, and they came to circumcise the boy, and they were calling him by the name of his father Zechariah. 60. And his mother answered, and she said to them, Not so, but he will be called Johanan. 61. And they said to her, There is no man among your generations, who is called by this name. 62. And they signed to his father how he wished to name him. 63. He requested a tablet, and he wrote, and he said, Johanan is his name, and everyone was amazed. 64. And at once his mouth was opened, and his tongue, and he spoke, and blessed Jehovah. 65. And there was awe upon all of their neighbors, and in all the mountains of Judea these things were being spoken. 66. And all those who heard were contemplating in their heart, and they were saying, What indeed will this boy be? And the hand of Elohim Jehovah was with him. 67. And his father Zechariah was filled with the spirit of holiness, and he prophesied, and he said. 68. Blessed is Elohim Jehovah, Jehovah of Israel, who has visited his nation, and he has wrought for its redemption. 69. And he has raised up for us a trumpet of redemption in the house of David his servant. 70. Just as he spoke by the mouth of his holy prophets, that which is from eternity. 71. That he would save us from our enemies, and from the hand of all of them who hate us. 72. And he has wrought his mercy with our fathers, and he has remembered his holy covenants. 73. And the oath that he swore to Abraham our patriarch, that he would grant us. 74. That we would be saved from the hands of our enemies, and we would serve before him without fear. 75. All of our days with justice and in righteousness. 76. And you, boy, you will be called the prophet of the highest, for you will go before the face of Elohim Jehovah, that you may prepare his way. 77. That he may give the knowledge of life to his people and forgiveness of their sins. 78. In the compassions of the mercy of our Jehovah, in which the manifestation from heaven will visit us. 79. To enlighten those who were sitting in darkness and in the shadow of death, that he may direct our feet in the path of peace. 80. But the boy was growing and being strengthened in spirit, and he dwelt in the wilderness until the day of his manifestation unto Israel. Hebrews 9. 1. But in the first there was an order of ministry and a worldly sanctuary. 2. For the first tabernacle that was made there had the menorah and the table of showbread, and it was called the holy place. 3. But the inner tabernacle, from within the second veil, was called the Holy of Holies. 4. And there was in it the golden place of incense, and the ark of the covenant, all overlaid with gold, and it had a pot of gold in which was manna, and the rod of Aaron which budded, and the tablets of the covenant. 5. And above, the cherubim of glory, which shrouded over the mercy seat, but there is no time for us to speak about each one of these things which were thus fashioned. 6. But the priests were always entering the outer tabernacle and performing their ministry. 7. But the high priest would enter the inner tabernacle once a year by himself with blood, which he was offering in the place of his soul and in the place of the evil doing of the people. 8. But by this the Spirit of holiness had taught that the way of holiness had not yet been revealed, as long as the first tabernacle was standing. 9. And this was a symbol for that time in which gifts and sacrifices were offered, which were not able to perfect the conscience of him who offers them. 10. Except in food and drink only, and in various washings, which are ordinances of the flesh that are established until the time of Reformation. 11. But the Messiah who has come has become the high priest of the good things that he did, and he entered the great and perfect tabernacle, which is not made with hands, and was not from these created things. 12. And he did not enter with blood of yearling goats and of calves, but with his own blood he entered the holy place one time, and has achieved eternal redemption. 13. For if the blood of kids and of calves and the ashes of a heifer were sprinkled on those who were defiled, and it sanctified them for the purifying of their flesh. 14. How much more therefore will the blood of the Messiah, who by the eternal Spirit offered himself without blemish to Jehovah, purify our conscience from dead works that we may serve the living Jehovah? 15. Because of this, he is the mediator of the new covenant, for in his death he is salvation to those who violated the first covenant, that we, those who were called to eternal inheritance, would receive the promise. 16. For where there is a testament, it shows the death of him who made it. 17. But it is only valid concerning one who is dead, because as long as he who made it lives, there is no use for it. 18. Because of this, not even the first was established without blood. 19. For when the entire ordinance which was in the law had been commanded by Moses to all the people, Moses took the blood of a heifer, and water with scarlet wool, and hyssop, and sprinkled upon the scrolls and upon all the people. 20. And he said to them, This is the blood of the covenant, which was commanded you by Jehovah. 21. Also he sprinkled blood upon the tabernacle, and upon all the vessels of the ministry. 22. Because all things are purged by blood in the written law, and without the shedding of blood there is no forgiveness. 23. For it is necessary that these things which are symbols of the heavenly are purified by these things, but the heavenly by better sacrifices than these. 24. For it was not the holy place made by hands that the Messiah entered, and which was the symbol of the real one, but he entered heaven to appear before the face of Jehovah in our place. 25. And not that he should offer himself many times, as the high priest was doing, and entered the holy place every year with blood that was not his. 26. Otherwise, he ought to have suffered many times from the beginning of the world, but now in the end of the world, he has offered himself one time to destroy sin by his sacrifice. 27. And just as it is appointed to the children of men to die once, and after their deaths the judgment. 28. In this way also, the Messiah was offered one time, and he slaughtered in his person the sins of the many, but the second time he appears without our sins, for the life of those who expect him. Numbers 18. 1. And Elohim spoke to Aaron, saying, Thou and thy sons, and thy father's house shall bear the sins of the holy things, and thou and thy sons shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood. 2. And take to thyself thy brethren the tribe of Levi, the family of thy father, and let them be joined to thee, and let them minister to thee, and thou and thy sons with thee shall minister before the tabernacle of witness. 3. And they shall keep thy charges, and the charges of the tabernacle, only they shall not approach the holy vessels and the altar, so both they and you shall not die. 4. And they shall be joined to thee, and shall keep the charges of the tabernacle of witness, in all the services of the tabernacle, and a stranger shall not approach to thee. 5. And ye shall keep the charges of the holy things, and the charges of the altar, and so there shall not be anger among the children of Israel. 6. And I have taken your brethren the Levites out of the midst of the children of Israel, a present given to Elo-heem, to minister in the services of the tabernacle of witness. 7. And thou and thy sons after thee shall keep up your priestly ministration, according to the whole manner of the altar, and that which is within the veil, and ye shall minister in the services as the office of your priesthood, and the stranger that comes near shall die. 8. And Elohim said to Aaron, And, behold, I have given you the charge of the firstfruits of all things consecrated to me by the children of Israel, and I have given them to thee as an honor, and to thy sons after thee for a perpetual ordinance. 9. And let this be to you from all the holy things that are consecrated to me, even the burnt offerings, from all their gifts, and from all their sacrifices, and from every trespass offering of theirs, and from all their sin offerings, whatever things they give to me of all their holy things, they shall be thine and thy sons. 10. In the most holy place shall ye eat them, every male shall eat them, thou and thy sons, they shall be holy to thee. 11. And this shall be to you of the firstfruits of their gifts, of all the wave offerings of the children of Israel, to thee have I given them, and to thy sons and thy daughters with thee, a perpetual ordinance, every clean person in thy house shall eat them. 12. Every first offering of oil, and every first offering of wine, their firstfruits of corn, whatsoever they may give to Elohim, to thee have I given them. 13. All the firstfruits that are in their land, whatsoever they shall offer to Elohim, shall be thine, every clean person in thy house shall eat them. 14. Every devoted thing among the children of Israel shall be thine. 15. And everything that opens the womb of all flesh, whatsoever they bring to Elohim, whether man or beast, shall be thine, only the firstborn of men shall be surely redeemed, and thou shalt redeem the firstborn of unclean cattle. 16. And the redemption of them shall be from a month old, their valuation of 5 shekels, it is 20 oboli, according to the holy shekel. 17. But thou shalt not redeem the firstborn of calves, and the firstborn of sheep, and the firstborn of goats, they are holy, and thou shalt pour their blood upon the altar, and thou shalt offer the fat as a burnt offering for a smell of sweet savor to Elohim. 18. And the flesh shall be thine, as also the breast of the wave offering, and as the right shoulder, it shall be thine. 19. Every special offering of the holy things, whatsoever the children of Israel shall specially offer to Elohim, I have given to thee and to thy sons and to thy daughters with thee, a perpetual ordinance, it is a covenant of salt forever before Elohim, for thee and thy seed after thee. 20. And Elohim said to Aaron, Thou shalt have no inheritance in their land, neither shalt thou have any portion among them, for I am thy portion and thine inheritance in the midst of the children of Israel. 21. And, behold, I have given to the sons of Levi every tithe in Israel for an inheritance for their services, whereinsoever they perform ministry in the tabernacle of witness. 22. And the children of Israel shall no more draw nigh to the tabernacle of witness to incur fatal guilt. 23. And the Levite himself shall perform the service of the tabernacle of witness, and they shall bear their iniquities, it is a perpetual statute throughout their generations, and in the midst of the children of Israel they shall not receive an inheritance. 24. Because I have given as a distinct portion to the Levites for an inheritance the tithes of the children of Israel, whatsoever they shall offer to Elohim, therefore I said to them, In the midst of the children of Israel they shall have no inheritance. 25. And Elohim spoke to Moses, saying, 26. Thou shalt also speak to the Levites, and shalt say to them, If ye take the tithe from the children of Israel, which I have given you from them for an inheritance, then shall ye separate from it a heave offering to Elohim, a tenth of the tenth. 27. And your heave offerings shall be reckoned to you as corn from the floor, and an offering from the winepress. 28. So shall ye also separate them from all the offerings of Elohim out of all your tithes, whatsoever ye shall receive from the children of Israel, and ye shall give of them an offering to Elohim to Aaron the priest. 29. Of all your gifts ye shall offer an offering to Elohim, and of every first fruit the consecrated part from it. 30. And thou shalt say to them, When ye shall offer the firstfruits from it, then shall it be reckoned to the Levites as produce from the threshing floor, and as produce from the winepress. 31. And ye shall eat it in any place, ye and your families, for this is your reward for your services in the tabernacle of witness. 32. And ye shall not bear sin by reason of it, for ye shall have offered an offering of firstfruits from it, and ye shall not profane the holy things of the children of Israel, that ye die not. Jeremiah 42. 1. Then came all the leaders of the host, and Jonan, and Azarias the son of Maaseias, and all the people great and small. 2. To Jeremias the prophet, and said to him, Let now our supplication come before thy face, and pray thou to Elohim thy Jehovah for this remnant, for we are left few out of many, as thine eyes see. 3. And let Elohim thy Jehovah declare to us the way wherein we should walk, and the thing which we should do. 4. And Jeremiah said to them, I have heard you, behold, I will pray for you to Elohim our Jehovah, according to your words, and it shall come to pass, that whatsoever word Elohim Jehovah shall answer, I will declare it to you, I will not hide anything from you. 5. And they said to Jeremiah, Let Elohim be between us for a just and faithful witness, if we do not according to every word which Elohim shall send to us. 6. And whether it be good, or whether it be evil, we will hearken to the voice of Elohim our Jehovah, to whom we send thee, that it may be well with us, because we shall hearken to the voice of Elohim our Jehovah. 7. And it came to pass, after 10 days, that the word of Elohim came to Jeremiah. 8. And he called Jonan, and the leaders of the host, and all the people from the least even to the greatest. 9. And he said to them, Thus saith Elohim. 10. If you will indeed dwell in this land, I will build you, and will not pull you down, but will plant you, and in no wise pluck you up, for I have ceased from the calamities which I brought upon you. 11. Be not afraid of the king of Babylon, of whom ye are afraid, be not afraid of him, saith Elohim, for I am with you, to deliver you, and save you out of their hand. 12. And I will grant you mercy, and pity you, and will restore you to your land. 13. But if ye say, We will not dwell in this land, that we may not hearken to the voice of Elohim. 14. For we will go into the land of Egypt, and we shall see no war, and shall not hear the sound of a trumpet, and we shall not hunger for bread, and there we will dwell. 15. Then hear the word of Elohim, thus saith Elohim. 16. If ye set your face toward Egypt, and go in there to dwell, then it shall be that the sword which ye fear shall find you in the land of Egypt, and the famine to which ye have regard, shall overtake you, coming after you in Egypt, and there ye shall die. 17. And all the men, and all the strangers who have set their face toward the land of Egypt to dwell there, shall be consumed by the sword, and by the famine, and there shall not one of them escape from the evils which I bring upon them. 18. For thus saith Elohim, As my wrath has dropped upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, so shall my wrath drop upon you, when ye have entered into Egypt, and ye shall be a desolation, and under the power of others, and a curse and a reproach, and ye shall no more see this place. 19. These are the words which Elohim has spoken concerning you the remnant of Judah, enter ye not into Egypt, and now know ye for a certainty. 20. That ye have wrought wickedness in your hearts, when ye sent me, saying, Pray thou for us to Elohim, and according to all that Elohim shall speak to thee we will do. 21. And ye have not hearkened to the voice of Elohim, with which he sent me to you. 22. Now therefore ye shall perish by sword and by famine, in the place which ye desire to go into to dwell there. Jeremiah 43. 1. And it came to pass, when Jeremiah ceased speaking to the people all the words of Elohim, for which Elohim had sent him to them even all these words. 2. That Azariah son of Messiah spoke, and Jonan, the son of Kari, and all the men who had spoken to Jeremiah, saying it is false, Elohim has not sent thee to us, saying, Enter not into Egypt to dwell there. 3. But Baruch the son of Neriah sets thee against us, that thou mayest deliver us into the hands of the Chaldeans, to kill us, and that we should be carried away captives to Babylon. 4. So Jonan, and all the leaders of the host, and all the people, refused to hearken to the voice of Elohim, to dwell in the land of Judah. 5. And Jonan, and all the leaders of the host, to call the remnant of Judah, who had returned to dwell in the land. 6. The mighty men, and the women, and the children that were left, and the daughters of the king, and the souls which Nebuzaradan left with Godolias the son of Achikam and Jeremiah the prophet, and Baruch the son of Neriah. 7. And they came into Egypt, for they hearkened not to the voice of Elohim, and they entered into Taphnes. 8. And the word of Elohim came to Jeremiah in Taphnes, saying, 9. Take thee great stones, and hide them in the entrance, at the gate of the house of Pharaoh, in Taphnes, in the sight of the men of Judah. 10. And thou shalt say, Thus has Elohim said, Behold, I will send, and will bring Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, and he shall place his throne upon these stones which thou hast hidden, and he shall lift up weapons against them. 11. And he shall enter in, and smite the land of Egypt, delivering some for death to death, and some for captivity to captivity, and some for the sword to the sword. 12. and he shall kindle a fire in the houses of their gods, and shall burn them, and shall carry them away captives, and shall search the land of Egypt, as a shepherd searches his garment, and he shall go forth in peace. 13. And he shall break to pieces the pillars of Heliopolis that are in On, and shall burn their houses with fire. Proverbs 1. 1. The Proverbs of Solomon son of David, who reigned in Israel. 2. To know wisdom and instruction, and to perceive words of understanding. 3. To receive also hard saying, and to understand true justice, and how to direct judgment. 4. That he might give subtlety to the simple, and to the young man discernment and understanding. 5. For by the hearing of these a wise man will be wiser, and man of understanding will gain direction. 6. And will understand a parable, and a dark speech, the saying of the wise also, and riddles. 7. The fear of Elohim is the beginning of wisdom, and there is good understanding to all that practice it, and piety toward Jehovah is the beginning of discernment, but the ungodly will set at naught wisdom and instruction. 8. Hear, my son, the instruction of thy father, and reject not the rules of thy mother. 9. For thou shalt receive for thine head a crown of graces, and a chain of gold round thy neck. 10. My son, let not ungodly men lead thee astray, neither consent thou to them. 11. If they should exhort thee, saying, Come with us, partake in blood, and let us unjustly hide the just man in the earth. 12. And let us swallow him alive, as Hades would, and remove the memorial of him from the earth. 13. Let us seize on his valuable property, and let us fill our houses with spoils. 14. But do thou cast in thy lot with us, and let us all provide a common purse, and let us have one pouch. 15. Go not in the way with them, but turn aside thy foot from their paths. 17. For nets are not without cause spread for birds. 18. For they that are concerned in murder store up evils for themselves, and the overthrow of transgressors is evil. 19. These are the ways of all that perform lawless deeds, for by ungodliness they destroy their own life. 20. Wisdom sings aloud in passages, and in the broad places speaks boldly. 21. And she makes proclamation on the top of the walls, and sits by the gates of princes, and at the gates of the city boldly says. 22. So long as the simple cleave to justice, they shall not be ashamed, but the foolish being lovers of haughtiness, having become ungodly have hated knowledge, and are become subject to reproofs. 23. Behold, I will bring forth to you the utterance of my breath, and I will instruct you in my speech. 24. Since I called, and ye did not hearken, and I spoke at length, and ye gave no heed. 25. But ye set at naught my counsels, and disregarded my reproofs. 26. Therefore I also will laugh at your destruction, and I will rejoice against you when ruin comes upon you. 27. Yea, when dismay suddenly comes upon you, and your overthrow shall arrive like a tempest, and when tribulation and distress shall come upon you, or when ruin shall come upon you. 28. For it shall be that when ye call upon me, I will not hearken to you, wicked men shall seek me, but shall not find me. 29. For they hated wisdom, and did not choose the word of Elohim. 30. Neither would they attend to my counsels, but derided my reproofs. 31. Therefore shall they eat the fruits of their own way, and shall be filled with their own ungodliness. 32. For because they wronged the simple, they shall be slain, and an inquisition shall ruin the ungodly. 33. But he that hearkens to me shall dwell in confidence, and shall rest securely from all evil.